Hey folks, I'm Rob, one of the guys here at I Know Some Guys, and today I want to talk to you about something that's Notes adjacent. It's a product called Nomad, also put out by HCL, and what it does for us is take that experience of working with a Notes database and do it on a mobile device. In my case, I'm going to be using my iPad. It's free, so all you have to do is go find it in the App Store. Just called HCL space Nomad. How to set it up. First, as always, I'm just going to go over to my Notes client, which is sitting in Windows, so that you can see what's there. Okay, here we are in Notes. However you get around to get to your applications is fine if your screen doesn't look like mine. I enjoy using the Workspace. It's a tabbed area. Things are put into rows and columns with nice little blocks. I'm an old man. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Here on the screen, you'll see I have a single application right now. It's our Elvis sightings database. When I open that up, take a look. You can see what I've got in here is a nice little navigator down the side for moving around and changing the way it displays the documents. We're just going to leave it on all documents, make our lives nice and easy. Right now, there's one single document in there. Graceland, obviously, that's where you will see Elvis. If you're going to see him, you hide in plain sight. That's the way it works. If I then wanted to access this via my mobile device, nice and easy. Just go to the App Store, like I said, grab Nomad, and when you first start it up, this is what it looks like. Of course, naturally, there's a license agreement. So we will go down, scan through it, not really read any of it. Who does? And just hit agree. It comes up with a pretty simple screen. There are actually two ways that you can set this up. The Domino client setup is what we're going to use because it's probably the one that most of you are going to use. Plug in my credentials here. Once your credentials are plugged in, the next thing it's going to ask you for is your password, so naturally you can just provide that. It's the same password that you use when you connect it to your Notes client. Also on this screen where it's asking for your password, if your device supports Touch ID, for instance, it will give you the option to enable that as well. Once you've done that, you'll see the Nomad startup. It has to go out and grab some information from the servers that we provided, so you got to give it a second. Once you do, you'll wind up here. Now, there's not a whole lot going on, and you'll see that it's not your standard look and feel. You don't have your bookmarks, you don't have items, you don't have a workspace per se. But what you can do, as you'll see here, is that it's nice and easy, and they give you the option to just open an application. When I hit open application, I get a pretty standard dialog box looking on my device. So I'm going to go over and find on our server the Elvis sightings database. All right, there we go. And so once I've found it and opened it up, it brings me into the database. Looks a little different here on the Nomad client, but that's just because of the way my client is set up on the Windows side. To show you that, I'm going to go in and create a new topic. And I'm going to put in here that this was the sighting. I'm using my Apple Pencil here, by the way. The sighting was in, let's call it Hilltop, Montana. We will pick from the categories that are available to us, which in this case says confirmed sightings. I'm actually going to tap up here and put in a new keyword, just like I could in my Notes client. And I'm going to put in this is suspected. And done. Pops in. For my content, I'm just going to put in I'd know that belt buckle anywhere. And we will save and close. And I now have two documents sitting there. The new one I just added, and the one from Graceland that was there before. And just to show you that this is indeed, nothing up my sleeves, that this is indeed the same database. If I go back to my PC, you'll see it looks like there's nothing there. Obviously, this is a new document created somewhere else. A quick refresh. There it is. And there is my Hilltop, Montana document. If I open that up, knowing that belt buckle anywhere. So, as you can see, Nomad, very easy to set up. Now, obviously, depending on the applications at your organization, you may or may not be allowed to use this. Or you might find that someone on the C-level team for management sees this somewhere or sees someone else using something like this and suddenly has to have it on their iPad. Don't panic. It's not that bad. So there you go. Nice and easy. Setup's pretty straightforward. General questions that you normally get with a Notes client anyway. So you probably know all of those, or your staff, your IT folks, your admins will be able to provide that to you. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know if this is something you'll be using, or if you'd like to see more Nomad content here on the channel. As always, if you found this video useful, please leave us a thumbs up down below. And remember, if you've got a project that you're working on that you could use a little help with, I know some guys. Bye for now.